Alright everybody, welcome to CanHammer, your source for 40k from the Great White North. I am sitting here at the airport. I'm on my way to Adepticon. Just passed through customs, had something to eat, and it's Wednesday after work, so I'm not arriving till 8 something to get to the hotel, so I'm probably gonna miss the GW preview. That's okay. 40k starts tomorrow bright and early, and then AOS doubles on Friday. So those are the two events I'm playing in. Team CanHammer's going big this year. Me and Chris are playing in AOS doubles, as you know. Our army is in a box, hopefully on its way into the belly of the plane without breaking, and hopefully will make its way there. And the display board is being driven by Andrew and BJ and Triple, so hopefully that makes it as well in one piece. Anyway, my army's in my trusty battle foam bag. The first time I actually travel with it, like travel on a plane, and I gotta tell you, the fact the whole army fits in a 432, amazing. So highly recommend playing elite armies so you can carry a tiny little bag as carry-on. So I'm happy that my 40k army will definitely make it. So super excited. I'm not going for the full thing, but it's going to be awesome. And you know, if I'm playing 40k tomorrow and I lose my first 2 games, I'll probably just drop and enjoy the rest of the things going on at Adepticon while I'm there, and then enjoy AOS doubles. I'm hoping to meet a lot of CanHammer fans out there. I'm hoping to meet up with some people from Best in Faction and Knights Pro that I'm part of. Hoping to see Rob and Nathan from Honest Wargamer, who of course are coming over in the summer to cover Capital City Bloodbath. Hoping to meet a whole bunch of people there, so it's going to be super fun, even if I don't end up playing a single game. So it's going to be awesome. The flight itself should be pretty straightforward. I'm just flying straight from here to Chicago and then taking Uber to the hotel, and hopefully my stuff will arrive intact. We do have super glue and accelerant in case it doesn't, so we should be okay. So yeah, so for 40k, my list is unchanged. Unfortunately, a lot of my practice games had to be canceled last week because A, I was sick, and B, Reggie died, of course. Thank you everybody for your kind thoughts and prayers for the Reg and his passing. So that was quite sad, and couldn't really bring myself to play any games last week. So the 1 or 2 games I did get in will be my prep, and we'll see how it goes. I'm playing the 13 bikes and the AdMech, basically, so that's unchanged. I'm looking forward to Adepticon as the event, but I don't like the Adepticon missions. I much prefer ITC, so once this is over, you're not going to see that bike list again, and you're going to start seeing some cooler, varied Custodes lists coming back to the channel. I am going to invest in Genestealer Cult, so you will be seeing that as well on the channel at some point. But and Ben has almost finished my Death Watch, so that will be making its appearance on the channel very soon, so that's going to be cool. So we're going to keep you up to date as we move on into Adepticon. I'm going to try and film my games tomorrow. I'm also going to try and film some interviews for you guys with some notable people, and just generally have a great time. And then you'll see my report published next week on the channel, and we'll probably talk about it on the cast next week as well. So do follow along and see how it goes. Boom. All right, everybody, it's the night before, and we're just registered. I'm gonna go through the swag bag later, but basically it's a giant backpack full of shit, and then a copy of Game of Thrones and this game here. And so we'll go look through this in a minute. And basically it's pretty busy right now. Everyone's setting up, getting their swag. So we got signed in, and so that'll save us some time tomorrow. But this is pretty crazy, off the hook. We will have a look at the swag bag in a minute when we get back to the hotel. All right, everybody, we're here in the hall for 40K. Most of the people are lining up to register, so instead of lining up, I've set up my army. That's Jim. Jim's here. Jim's just popped in down there. Table 91, remember. So the terrain is actually a lot better than I was led to believe. Every table's got at least 2 pieces of big terrain, which is much better than I was expecting. So that's pretty good. I can hide bikes behind there for sure. That's really cool. I really love these mats. It's super awesome. But yeah, so it's actually a lot better than, not all the tables, but most of them. As far as the ones I can see have decent, not decent, but like okay terrain. Better than I was expecting. So this should be pretty good. We got to go line up and register now, so we're going to go check these out. All right. Can't be said American events have no hobby. Well, that's a big banner. So here are some of the other tables. So they all have at least 2 of these big pieces. So I think it will be not too bad. All right, Team CanHammer just chilling out here, waiting for the event to begin. Woo! Not asleep.
You can drop from the event in the app now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So just waiting for things to start. Met a bunch of people, which is cool. Thank you for coming to say hi. Sorry if I can't remember your name. So it's hard to know. Like, people talk to you online, but you can't see their face, right? Yeah. And so you don't know. People are like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, hi, who are you? And then they may even tell you their name, and you may not know them because they're using a different name online.
Well, then they get confused because, like,
yeah.
look alike.
So hopefully we're going to start soon, and then we'll get some gaming in. Alright, I'm playing Max. What are the chances, 260 something people, that I play Max? But that is what it is. So, and what are the chances I'm on a table here beside Matt, 3 doctors playing in the same area. These guys are residents and I'm a doctor. So what are the chances of that? So that's a pretty auspicious start. So anyway, just waiting for Max to arrive and then we'll get started. Okay, Adepticon round 1, playing against Max. Alright, and Max is playing Guard Castellan, basically, with Emperor's Conclave and artillery. And yeah, he's just setting up. I finished the point. It's Dawn of War. These are the 6 objectives. And I'm finished deploying, and we're going to go forward from there. So,
Best of luck, CanHammer.
Yeah, let's see what happens with this game. See what else is happening. We got Battle of the Residencies. University Battle. University Battle. Eldar against Matt's Orcs.
That's right.
Let's look behind us. We've got more orcs. There's so many orcs here. Oh, Kieran's right behind me. Woohoo! It's conglomerated into one area.
No line of sight.
I'm playing Max.
Yeah, you're playing Max.
I'm playing Max. We've got some Tyranids.
Off your long there.
Alright, victory for Custodes in the first round. I made a couple of very big errors, but it didn't matter. I killed all his guardsmen in the first turn, hit his Castellan with the Terminators on the second turn, did 26 wounds, and then that was about it. Just a game of attrition. I ended up maxing out at 40-0. Great game with Max. We'll see what happens in round 2. We'll go hand in our score and see what else is going on. Alright, hard to find a quiet corner here, but I found one. And so that first game was fun. Max was playing basically Catachan Brigade with Castellan and a big unit of Bulgrin. So I gave him first turn. I prepared positions, so I lost a couple of bikes on the first turn and a few of my... he had 2 Wyverns with the artillery company, so I didn't think my Admech were going to last all game. I rolled a lot of 6s on the Graya save. Anyway, so he killed some stuff in the first turn, but he pushed his Bullgrin up, allowing me to charge him, which is key because they get extra attacks on the charge. So on my second turn, my first turn, I pushed right up, cleared out almost all of his guardsmen with my bolters, and then charged the Bullgrin and attempted to wrap them as well, but unfortunately they failed the morale and I killed the whole unit, but then I was out in the open. In return though, with the -1 to hit, Caslin didn't kill too much, and then second turn basically dropped down the Terminators, 3-inch charge, lost the Terminator in Overwatch, avenged the Fallen, 26 wounds to the Caslin, and it was dead the next turn after that. And then the Caslin blew up and killed a whole bunch of shit. Anyway, at the end of the day, I touched his Wyverns, got my line breaker, so I ended up with a 40-0 victory. Yeah, it was good. The progressive, able to play the progressives well, kept all the objectives kind of in the middle of the board, so it lended itself well. Starting to get a hang of the sort of don't leave yourself on an objective just to lose it to your opponent next turn sort of strategy with the Adepticon style missions, but so far going well. So it's lunchtime now. We'll see if we can grab a quick tour of the vendor area, and then we'll prepare for game 2 and get some lunch. All right, we're here right now with top Canadian ITC player?
Something like that.
And where are you now overall in ITC?
Number 3.
Wow, number 3 out of a bajillion people. Jim Vessel, the one and only Jim Vessel. Now called Captain Canada. So how'd your first game go, Jim?
It was good. I played Renegade Knights. I was pointy Dawn of War. He gave me first turn, and I managed to pick up his 30 screen of cultists.
Yeah. Cultists?
Yeah, he had 30 corn cultists that I picked up, and he had 60 bloodletters and deep strike, so he basically had no other screens.
Okay.
So for my turn 2, I dropped down all my bloodletters and horrors, and I basically took out all his characters that didn't have screens, and then from there it was just a matter of kind of waiting for his bloodletters to come down, eating the charge with plague bearers, and then
so is that's some new tech in your list, the bloodletters?
I have 15, and that's like the perfect amount. They're cheap and dirty, and I can throw them away.
Okay. But any other changes to your list? Most people are pretty familiar with what you've been
I'm playing the same list I played at Diceheimer GT a few weeks ago. So
what do you think of these missions?
Yet to be seen. I mean, this one was okay. I'm interested to see how the meat grinder works, because my army I think is better against the kill points, but not as good as the meat grinder, because you actually do a lot of wounds to me.
Yeah. You just got a lot of wounds to be done.
So
that's true.
It'll be interesting. I'm gonna really interested to see how. I think the biggest thing is how the battle points shakes out with not necessarily being win-loss. And my army is traditionally a low-scoring army.
40K
I'm gonna have to work really hard to get those high points. So.
Yeah, but you won 40-0 in this one.
40-0, yeah.
Okay, well that's a good start.
That's a good start, but I'm a little worried. Maybe I got too many points.
Yeah, you don't want to end up at the top playing like scrubs like me.
Bring them up to the judges'
I can play you next round. Who knows?
Oh man, I would be kind of annoyed if I ended up playing all the people I know, but anyway, it can happen. So yeah, okay, cool. Well, it's lunchtime, and good luck for the rest of the tournament. All right, Adepticon round 2. I'm playing CK, one of 4 Asians. What are the chances?
What are the chances?
We're playing mission 2. He's got Tau over here, and I've got the Cowardly Custodes stuck in this corner here. And it's end game, and we're going to see how it goes. So I don't like playing Tau, but we'll see how it goes. I've also lost 2 dice, which is really annoying, because now I'm going to be shooting 2 less shots every time, because I'll forget. But yeah, we'll see how it goes at the end of the game. All right. Didn't go well, got tabled basically, and as predicted, it's such a hard counter, Custodes. I still haven't figured out a way of killing Tau. Yeah, but I played a good game and left me very little choices, and I had to commit, and I lost way too much on Overwatch. Normally I don't lose that much on Overwatch. You rolled hot on that Overwatch. Usually I get in with way more than that. Even then, I still just kill drones, so you know, it's so difficult. All the rules are so anti-Custodes. Anyway, so that's it. So I have to decide whether I'm going to play the next round or not. I've got a headache, and it seems like there's a lot of better things to do. I don't know, I haven't decided. How much time do we got left? Oh, we still got an hour, right? You want a beer? Oh yeah, dude, I would So I politely decline your beer, but I will eat all the Tylenol you have. All right, cool. So we'll see what's happening round 3 if I decide to go forward, and yeah, we'll come back. All right, let's take a little tour of the vendor area. Start on this side and move around. Okay, there's a lot of venues here, but it's not huge. It's not like Comic-Con or anything, but pretty cool.
Turn 10 in January.
Nice one, mate. Well, listen, if you have good
except for the last one is actually
Infinity.
And the big brothers. That's right. Everything else is for sale. This would be critical. The closer you are, the it's just one of those that when you do it, it shouldn't matter.
Pretty cool. I'm gonna eventually hit the Forge World one, but the lineup is ridiculous. T-shirts. All right, round 3. I'm playing John. Hey John, where are you from, John?
Indiana, USA.
Indiana. Nice. You Pacers fan?
No.
Cool. I'm playing John in round 3. He's got Hellbrutes, Mauler Fiends, and a whole crap ton of cultists. So interesting list. Gaiden, Armon, and some Spawn. And we're just setting up. It's Hammer and Anvil. It's endgame. And yeah, so we'll see how it goes, and we'll be back at the end of the game. All right, round 3. The score doesn't really say kind of how close the game was. It was pretty close. The Terminators turned it in turn 2. Yeah, that initial rush of Mauler Fiends was quite nasty, actually. And then a lot of smites and stuff going around, but the Terminators came down and killed a couple and managed to turn it around, and then got a little bit lucky. as always, a little bit of luck is involved. And yeah, managed to get a 36-4 victory there. And so we're kind of 2-1. And so I was going to drop after this round, but I might carry on now, see if I can get that 3-1 at Adepticon. That would be pretty sweet. So I think I will continue and play one more round. And yeah, so onwards to the next round. Alright, just a quick thoughts on my third 40K game. This is the next day, but I haven't had a chance. So this was a game against a nice guy who was bringing chaos. He brought 3 Mauler Fiends, one from 3 different chaos gods, 3 Hell Brutes, 1 shooty and kind of 2 combatty, 2 shooty and 1 combatty, and then a whole bunch of cultists and a Baden, and some chaos spawn. And it was Hammer and Anvil, and it was endgame. So basically, I knew he was going to rush towards me, so he just came towards me, and I let him hit me first. And actually, there was a time there where I thought I was going to get overwhelmed by 3 Mauler Fiends that actually do a lot of attacks and a lot of psychic buffs. Ahriman in the list too, so Ahriman and a Chaos Sorcerer, lots of psychic buffs made these guys pretty scary, killed a lot of bikes. And the swinging point was when I came down with my Terminators and took out 2 of them in one phase, and then those Terminators went on to kill 2 of the 3 Hell Brutes, as well as a Baden, and then went over and killed some cultists and sat on an objective. And my bikes got to his objective in the end and killed his backfield cultists, took out some spawns, and yeah, so actually I ended up winning that game 36-4, 34-0, something like that. And so it was a decent game, but those Mauler Fiends can be scary, but it did take 3 of them to and lots of buffs, so in the end we prevailed in the end. Alright, round 4 against Shane from North Virginia. Shane's playing Double Spear Yanari, and we're playing Table Quarters and Progressive, so it's gonna be a tough game. It's a pretty bad matchup for Custodians, but we'll see how it goes. He's just phantasming and redeploying, and I've got first turn, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, round 4, unfortunately, we called it a table. Probably in the next turn it would have been a table. It was soup. My only goal was to kill some spears, and I killed both units of spears. Aquilon for the win. Lost 2 guys in due to interceptor fire, and then made a charge in, wiped out the unit. Boom. Nice, I'm happy about that. But otherwise I lost, so 2-2 for my first Adepticon, not bad. The gaming was fun. The people I played against were awesome. I just don't like the missions. And yeah, so anyway, we'll give a full debrief later when we get back to the hotel. We're just gonna pack up now and head back. Alright, so at that point I was 2-1. I was hoping to go 3-1. I played a guy called Shane, super nice guy. He was bringing Double Spear Yanari, so tough matchup for me. I did have a building in the middle that I managed to place in the middle for a line of sight, and so he deployed pretty aggressively. I deployed pretty aggressively, and because I had the +1, and of course I got first turn, but he used the redeploy stratagem and deployed way in the back. Now at this point my thinking was, if I went forward and advanced, I would just have to survive 1 turn, but that's 1 turn of fully buffed double shooting Dark Reapers and buffed up 2 Double Spear Yanari double spear units, so I did not think my army would survive that. So I actually moved back and played KG for the first couple of turns, and ended up losing maybe 2 bikes to Dark Reapers over the first couple of turns, and that was it. And then he shot a unit of Shining Spears forward and shot at some bikes and maybe killed like 1 bike, and then charged into the bike,
but I guess he didn't know about stooping dive. So he seemed to suggest to me at the beginning when we were exchanging lists that he knew kind of what my list did. So he didn't, and so I stooping dived him with my second unit of bikes and killed 6 of the bikers, and then the 3 spears still killed the rest of that bike unit, which is crazy. And then Dark Reapers start picking off my 3-man bike unit. And then so then they soul bursted back behind the building. I caught them next turn. And then my Terminators came in his backfield. They got intercepted, which I knew was going to happen. I was hoping I would survive better, but they got intercepted. I lost 2 Terminators in the intercept, and then they did make a 9-inch charge, completely ganked the second unit of Shining Spears in the combat phase, and then they got they got countercharged by Ahriman, Yvrain, and like 3 or 4 Eldar characters, all of which hit on 2s and wound on 2s for whatever reason. And so I was down to 1 Terminator for about 1.5 turns, and he was just surviving. And I ganked Yvrain. I killed 1 other character, and I had a chance to kill Eldrad, but 3-up invuln ruled the day, and then I got toasted by psychic power. So that didn't work out too well, but I did manage to kill both Spears lists. Unfortunately, the Dark Reapers just got too much for me, and I couldn't reach them in time, and eventually kind of just got tabled. So table turn 5, I think it was, and I'm not sure if there's a better way for me to play against that list, but it seemed to do okay. But yeah, you know, Eldar got all the tricks. So we'll see what happens next month in White Dwarf with the new Ynnari stuff. Anyway, so that was my 40k Adepticon. I finished 137, I think, out of 265, which was, I wanted to go 3-1, but 2-2 is not bad. I lost to my 2 hard counters, Tau and Ynnari, and I beat the other 2 guys. So I guess I'm fairly happy with that, and I'm happy to not have to play Adepticon missions anymore. I don't really enjoy them, and I don't want to play my bike list anymore. So that's behind me. We'll move forward with more exciting Custodes lists, and the next big tournament, which will probably be the TGX in July. Yeah, so super fun. On to AOS doubles.
Day 2 at Adepticon. What are you playing today, Weber?
Like Nightfall.
4 tournaments of Nightfall.
Yeah.
For some reason, they have to run like 4 or 5 tournaments of the same thing in the same event, but that's cool.
Hopefully, I'll do better than yesterday.
You didn't do well yesterday.
0-2-2.
0-2-2. All right. All right. So we are playing AOS doubles. There's the army. And the display board is here.
Beautiful.
Made it. Everything made it very much intact, which is awesome. So we're going to go and get set up, and then hopefully show you guys some of the action today. AOS doubles. Catch you later. All right, round 1, AOS team tournament. Finally started. I don't know what time it is. It's almost 10. And here we go. We're playing against Git, Trolls, and Sylvanak.
You guys can feel free while he's filming. Just,
yeah, you can keep going. You don't have to interact with him. All right, so we'll come back to the end of this game, see how it goes. All right, round 1, Chris. Victory for the Royal Canadian Mounted Draconis.
Yeah.
Our first game, and Dragons hit hard.
Yeah, they hit really hard.
Dragons hit really hard
than I even imagined.
Yeah, they hit really hard. And actually quite hard to kill, too.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I didn't expect them to survive that long against the trolls, and they did.
Yeah. Yeah, because those trolls actually do a lot of damage, and then -1 to hit is a big deal.
They're really good and they're survivable, and they did like the double trolls with the Sylvanas in the woods, so like almost their whole army was -1 to hit, which was really hard. Especially like when we charged, we're fine, but once we ran out of our horns and rerolls, we kind of got bogged down a bit, but it was fun.
It was good. We kind of used the slowness against them to keep the hard-hitting part of their army at bay until we were ready to engage. And then the key to our army is has to charge, really, to be like really good. So yeah, so we'll go on to round 2. We'll see how we did there, and we'll see who we got next.
I hope it. Yeah, so if we charge, we get 2, right? Yeah. We
Round 2, it was doubles against
weird.
Brandon and Andrea,
Feel right.
who apparently are good friends of Chris.
12.
And they're playing Deep Can and Stormcast,
Which I think feels better.
We're about to start.
If
Each team should do 1 and then 1, I think.
So back to you guys for your dragons.
All right, round 2. We lost, but we didn't get tabled.
Yeah, Reggie lived.
Reggie survived with 1 wound.
I got tabled turn 2.
Yeah, Chris got tabled by eels turn 2.
My whole army.
He was like, "Whoa, they'll be fine, they'll be fine." I'm like, "No, they're both dying." He's like, "No, but they'll be
They
fine."
were close. They were close.
No, they weren't. They didn't even do their other 2 profiles.
Against me, they did. Yeah. It was the last things that killed me. I almost lived with my guy.
Okay.
I really did.
And then Logan somehow survived, but did like 0 damage.
Yeah, Logan.
For like 2
Logan
turns.
needs to go to the gym more.
He needs to do more lifting. But yeah, fun game, and we'll see what happens next round. Who do you think we're gonna play next round?
Hopefully, children that we can just stomp
Just
on.
beat up on. Yeah.
That would make it really great.
All right, and you guys are in the running.
It's kind of hard with 300 or so players.
Yeah, and 3 rounds.
I think we're down 4 points from max, so I honestly don't think we're even in the running for best in race. So hopefully that means our last game will be fun and not real.
Yeah. So we're at the same race as you.
Yeah, so this game was basically 1 double turn. That turn 2 double turn or turn 1?
Yeah, we set up for it knowing exactly that that would be the
You guys
risk.
went for it, and if you double turn, we were dead. If you didn't double turn, we were like,
It's not like we were on table 1 where maybe we wouldn't risk everything on 1 die roll, but we weren't, so who cares?
Exactly.
It was a good game, guys.
So yeah, cool. See you next round. Final round, AOS team tournament. Our friendly opponents. Where are you guys from? Detroit. Detroit. All right.
Oh, so you played
2 Detroit teams in there. Yeah. You played Brad? We Brad and beat us.
Excellent. Well, he knows when the the Michigan GT and LVO did.
No, that's Bill.
Bill.
All right, we're playing Mission. They're playing War Apprentice and Nighthawk.
Yeah.
So it should be a fun game. We'll see how it goes. Come back at the end.
That's deployment. I'm +1 wounds.
Don't reroll 4, so that 1 goes through. Come on, bitches! Logan! Oh, 4 6s. So I took 3, and then I got my thingy. Another 6. I took 2.
Where did you go?
Took 4. I'm down 4.
Did you kill a dragon? I did not.
Oh, you did 2 damage.
Not yet.
You're in the moon. Yeah, I took 2 damage on that.
Come on, bitches!
Come on, bitches! That made up for that 1 over there.
I'm just waiting to come back and see.
Okay, it's come down to the final turn. They're 2 points ahead.
Because if he can't get far enough away, he can't do it.
You can get 3 away, right?
Can he get 3 from there? At 8? No, it won't work. They'll still be within.
So I'm going to advance. How far do I need to advance?
But you can't charge in advance, right?
We're not
Or is that ability?
No, he can't retreat if you can't get far enough away.
Yeah,
so
we can advance on
Right? How far do I need?
more inches.
Hey, maybe do you have a CP?
How many more?
You can auto advance 6.
Yeah, but I want to use the real hits if I don't fuck it. Because I might kill them by random luck. So should I just advance?
Well, you won't be able to.
Killing the chain
You won't get any hits because you're retreating, so you don't need that.
You can't charge.
Rerolling means nothing.
But I can charge with him.
Oh, him.
And then he gives them reroll hits.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Okay.
So
Your breath weapon is probably going to wind up killing that guy. But
that's what I'm saying. So how? Just let me know what I need to roll.
okay, let's go back here.
So measure it for my guy, and then let me know.
You just need to go. This is where you're at with 8.
points to tie the game.
Right there.
Okay, so how?
No, because he needs to be far enough away from that unit. So he needs to be
How much
3
more time do I
away.
need? How much more
How he has
inches?
to run.
I know. He has to go an additional.
1 inch.
That's.
So,
You need to go.
2.
Yeah, 2.
That's all I need to hear. I just want to hear a number before I roll. So I'm going to chance the thing, right?
it's a chance.
3. I'm out. I'm gonna go 3 towards him. I'm gonna double breath it. No, I just want to know a number.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if it was like a 1, I ought to have got it.
Alright, so we need to do 4 wounds to this dude to tie the game, basically.
So this guy on him.
With 2 breaths.
What's the range on your brother?
12. 12. So this guy on him does D6 for the wins.
Expect that earlier.
5.
Oh. Let's see what we get.
Is it a 6 up or a 5 up?
6 up.
I just 4, yeah. That's that.
Alright.
So now he's gonna breath them.
Right.
Fuck, the greed worked.
Alright, so
It's like a beautiful, beautiful.
So we managed to kill that guy in the tie on the primary, and we couldn't kill the chain rats because they rolled a 1 on the morale, on the battle shock. So it was a completely tie game, which was crazy. It's like the best kind of Warhammer, actually. So
what's that called again? That army?
Yeah, so a great game, great opponents, and nice way to end the Adepticon for me. I'm going home.
What's your team name?
Yeah, so hope everybody enjoyed that, and we'll get some final thoughts on the way home. All right, we're back in 40K Champs. Jim Wiesel versus Juice to win Adepticon. Let's check it out.
You used to joke around.
There.
I'll shoot one of those guys.
Sure. They just started. Never mind. I'll come back later.
Okay, so the next day, me and Chris were playing AOS doubles. We were bringing the Royal Canadian Mounted Draconis. So basically, we have Ordo Draconis, 4 Dragon Lords, and 20 Dragon Blades, like the Knight dudes. And that was our list. They were all converted into Mounties with Mountie hats, and each one had a little symbol on the base to represent me, Logan, Andrew, and Chris. And then they had beavers on all the Knights, and our board was like Beaver Dam and all, and there's a little moose there. It was pretty cool. Anyway, so this was AOS doubles, and nobody knew anything about the missions until the pack was released. Unfortunately, the first mission was wrong in the pack, so it was delayed, and actually it was a pretty long day because of delays and things like that. So first game, we ended up playing 2 guys from Midwest somewhere. And they were playing trying to think. Oh, they were playing trolls, so Gits but with trolls. So a big troll boss dude, some bigger, slightly smaller trolls, and then a couple of units of the smaller little troll dudes, and then Sylvaneth. So some dryads, Durthu, a branch wraith, and 2 units of Kurnoth hunters. And we just sat back because the trolls move pretty slowly. They can't advance and charge or anything. So we put 3 dragons on one flank, 1 on the other flank. We just sat back, let the trolls come to us. We hit the left flank, which had the Sylvaneth on it, hard on the first turn, and took that objective. And then that got us the bonus because we held 4, and then we burned it the next. This was Scorched Earth. Burned it the next turn, so that put us quite up ahead. And then Durthu hurt himself with some kind of ability and did no damage. Then he tried a 11 or 12-inch charge and failed. And then 3 dragons hit his lines the next turn, killed Durthu, all the Kurnoth hunters, and then did some damage to the trolls. We lost, I think we lost 1 dragon that game, but then ended up killing the rest. And so it was an easy win for us on that first round. Second round, we ended up playing Brad and Andrea, who are old friends of Chris's in Detroit, and Brad is actually an AOS play tester. So they were bringing Deepkin and Stormcast. So I had a couple of units of just the normal foot Stormcast guys, 2 dudes on like little horses, and then the Lord Castellan or Celestin or whatever on the big dragon dude. And then Deepkin, they had a Tidecaster, 2 units of Thralls, 2 units of Reavers, and a 9-man unit of Morsar Guard. And so we played this pretty cagey. It's going to be a tough matchup. It was like the diagonal setup with the 3 objectives in the middle, and so we were both playing pretty cagey for the first turn, and on their second turn they decided to go for it. So they shot the they dropped in the Lord on the dragon to hit some reavers and to hit some of our knights on the left flank, and then the eels shot forward and basically toasted a unit of black knights that was screening for us, and but didn't use their shocks because they were hoping for the double turn basically to hit our 3 dragons at the back. My 1 dragon had gone up the right flank to take on the stormcast, the rest of the stormcast with a couple units of knights, and they didn't make it into the 3rd turn, so they were safe. Unfortunately, so this game literally came down to the end of round 2 initiative roll, and we lost that roll even with the +1, and so those eels came in next turn and killed 2.5 dragons, and the last dragon was tied up for the rest of the game trying to kill eels. And then the only person that survived this game was my dragon Reggie, with 1 wound left at the end of the game to avoid the table. But yeah, so if we had won that initiative, those eels were dead. That dragon comes in, doesn't do the Lord on the dragon comes in, doesn't do much, and our 3 dragons just go romping through the rest of his army. So it really was just based on the initiative roll at the end of round 2 that we would win or lose, and we lost that roll. So that's how AOS goes. I still like the mechanic, because you know it's a calculated risk, but you know, sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. So so we lost that game, and going on to round 3, we played a couple of guys also from Detroit, nice guys. They were bringing Night Haunt and Iron Jaws. So the Iron Jaws side was a shaman, a Fungor cave shaman, the war drummer dude, and 3 or 4 units of Gore Gruntas. And then the Night Haunt side was a Knight of Shrouds on the steed, the Nightmare Lantern guy, a 20-man unit of Chain Rasps, and 30 Grimghasts. So this was like a Eternal War sort of setup, and it was the shifting. It was the random objective. At the beginning of every round, you roll d3 for your 3 on your side, and you get a d3 for holding yours and d6 for your opponents. The Gore Grunters shot up first turn, but obviously they can't advance or charge or anything, so it didn't do anything. And the Night Haunts just stuck on a back objective, and the Grimghasts were in space. So I moved up my flank against the Night Haunt side and just holding up space to stop the Grimghasts from coming in. And then Chris hit the Gore Grunters hard with 3 dragons and 2 units of knights, and killed a lot of Gore Grunters. They did get off a wah, like a 2 or 3 wads for 5 extra attacks, and actually did quite a bit of damage. So I forgot about that they have that wah ability. I thought you had to have a war boss to do it, but anyway, so they did do some damage, but eventually kind of got whittled down, and we were owning that flank. As that kind of 75% of the board. We left a little space for the Grimghasts. They managed to squeeze in right in the middle of the field, and they charged into 2 of our dragons on that right flank, and didn't kill them though. And then eventually 3 dragons and a unit of knights killed all the Grimghasts. In the meantime, my left flank dragon got stuck in to those Chain Rasps, who were impossible to kill. And then I also ate a 10-man Bladegeist Revenant. Sorry, they also had Bladegeist charging into me, and actually took only 2 damage. And then I wiped them all in the next turn with some knights coming up to back me up. So basically, they got bonus points for killing monsters over 10 wounds, so that was an advantage for them. We did manage to hold one of their objectives on their turn, on our turn, so that was d6 victory points, but I rolled a 1. So in the end, it came down to turn 5. End of our turn 5, we were 2 points behind, and we needed 2 points, and the only way we could have done it was to kill his general, which was worth 1 for being a general and an extra 1 for being their overall army general, and that was the Knight of Shrouds. So we and our dragons were fairly wounded, and just managed to advance into range. and retreat out of a combat into range to flame the Knight of Shrouds, and we managed to get 4 wounds on it, and he didn't pass any of his ethereal death saves, so we managed to get our 2 points from flaming the Knight of Shrouds from like 12 inches away. And of course the flame attacks on the dragons are not shooting attacks, so you can still fall back, advance, and use that because it's not a missile weapon. They probably need to update that scroll. So that got us the tie. And then, yeah, so that was a tie game, super tight, right down to the wire, the last moves, great game, great opponents, and so we finished the day 1-1-1. Well, the tie is like a minor victory, so 1-1-1. So great fun AOS team tournament, although not very well run. Was super fun and really enjoyed that. So that was good, and that was my Adepticon. I spent the rest of the time going to vendors. Didn't buy anything, but it was cool. I wanted to pick up some Forge World stuff, but the lineup was ridiculous all weekend, so I didn't do that. And it's great to meet everybody. I think that was the best part of this weekend, was meeting everybody, coming up and saying hi, to enjoy the podcast or the YouTube channel or the Twitch streams. And watching and meeting people like Nick and the guys from Long War, and just all these people that I watch or talk to online but I've never met before. It was great to meet them, great to hang out with the CanHammer guys as usual, and super awesome event. Planning to go next year, not sure how much I'll play, but super great event just to see everybody, all the personalities. And a big shout out to Jim Wiesel, Team CanHammer, for winning Adepticon 40K championships, playing Juice from the Long War in the finals for all the marbles, and he pulled it out. So big congrats to Jim, and he will be interviewed on our podcast next week. So this report should come out on Wednesday, so if you watch it, you will hear about it before the podcast happens. So and thanks very much for watching. Sorry I didn't film as much as I wanted to, but when you have to play and there's so much to see and do, it's kind of hard to put the camera out. And sorry about if the sound was not great in some places, because it's just so big and noisy and so many people. But hope you enjoyed our coverage of Adepticon 2019, and look forward to seeing more. Our next event coverage will be, of course, the Day of Blood tournament, which is next weekend. And then next after that will be CanHammer Team Tournament in May. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.